James Bond, and I'm a part of Backyard Builders. And I'm pretty darn excited to be a part of it. My dad and I are the inventors and the producers of HighPerformanceFuelCells.com. Now, starting to get on subject, my dad and I have installed an HHO generator on his KTM 640 Super Duke. And here's my dad. He'll say some good things about it.
Thank you, James. Thank you. Why don't you climb up on that bad boy? Well, this is my KTM Duke. It's a super-moto. This is a bike that you really like to get out and play on traffic with it because it handles nice. I've had the bike for about 4 years. It gives me a lot of pleasure. When I want to just get out there and get some aggression going out, you know what I mean, I go out and I ride the hell out of this. Or when I just want to get away from everybody. This is like my scapegoat. Yeah, so it's actually like my third child. That's my first baby right there, James.
Thank you.
Right, my second baby, Joseph, he's inside. Oh, speak of the devil.
Oh.
Hey, Joe.
So what you doing, Pop?
I'm doing some filming.
Alright, I do a say ho.
Why don't you pull up them videos for YouTube so we can get started on that?
Okay.
Good man. Alright, what we installed is a hydrogen fuel cell generator, and I'll explain how it works. First of all, we start from a reservoir bottle, and this is our bubbler too. It comes down out the outbound, and it comes around, and it goes into our hydrogen pump. Then after that, it goes down into the bottom of the fuel cell, and this is just distilled water and distilled vinegar. You can see it's already seasoned up. And then it comes out the top of the generator and back into the top of the reservoir bottle, and then over here on the other side, it comes out of the reservoir bottle and into our C-trap, which acts as a spark arrestor, a vacuum container, and just, you know, another place so we don't make sure that we get fluid into our system. And it has a fuel sponge inside, so like if we're cornering or doing stuff that we shouldn't be doing, it won't splash around and get, you know, fluid into our intake. Then the line goes out, and it goes through the frame of my bike to the other side, and then it comes through and it comes down behind my plastics, and then after that there's a sight gauge, you know, so I can kind of like see to make sure I'm not getting any condensation in the line, and it comes down, right, and then it goes back in behind my carburetor, right, and what we do is we use these injector tips, right, that we make ourselves, right, to inject the hydrogen. Everybody else uses these, you know, 3/8 tubes and stuff like that, and what you get out of there is big bubble, little bubble, big bubble, little bubble. It's not consistent. This makes a consistent spray, just like a fish aquarium. When you think about what the other tube is, like here you are, you get a big bubble and it comes up on #1 cylinder, and you're getting a bad fire. You go to #2 cylinder, you get a smaller bubble, and you might get a good fire. You know what I mean? You go to #3 cylinder, you may not even get a bubble, so you're not, you know, consistent. Okay. Now, what makes our fuel cells different from everybody else is, right, we use a clear case so you can be able to see inside the cell so you know what's going on when you need to get it, you know, taken apart and clean it. And that's another thing that people don't do. They make it so you can't clean your fuel cells. After that, this is right here, this is bulletproof glass. So it can take the impact of a rock shooting up and hitting it or anything like that. What we use is a 3/16 stainless steel L. We got high temperature gaskets, and then our HHO pump. Now, I'm going to get Jamie here to start the vehicle. First we're going to do is, we're going to turn on the hydrogen, and it's been sitting cold, so it's going to take a little minute, you know, here to start producing.
You want me to sing a song so time can pass by?
Might as well, right? Perfect. Okay, now we're making a good amount of hydrogen. We're going to turn on the pump. Now look at that. Now we're making some really good production. And we're going to wait for it to fill up a little bit so we can start the bike. I got the bike so jetted out so it can take the hydrogen. It's better. Okay, go ahead, Jamie, crank it.
Alright. Let's crank up this bad boy.
Look at that, nice clean start. Now that's a real cold nature bike. You know, normally when I'm running on gas, I gotta choke the hell out of it, you know, slowly move the choke up. Okay. Now, we know when we got it right, you can actually just come over here and breathe off the exhaust. And you gotta kind of like think of it as an oxygen settling cutting torch. Gasoline is only 13% efficient, diesel is 17. Add the right amount of hydrogen to it, and you may get a 9 to 5%, you know, efficiency of burn. So like when you're thinking of gasoline, think of that oxygen acetylene cutting torch with that long, dirty flame, right, with carbon rolling off. And that's what gasoline is. When you turn down the acetylene and get the oxygen just right, you get a clean and potent flame. By adding hydrogen, we're just trying to get that clean, potent flame. Now look at this. Here I am, I got the candle back there. No smoke, nothing going on my lamp. So now we know that we got it right because it doesn't burn. Alright? Now, clean rag or somehow you need to stop. Okay, that's about the clean side of it. Jamie, I think this is one of your socks, huh? Okay. Alright, here we go. Alright, we're going to cover that up. That's going to be my new plate tag. Got HHO. So nobody go get that because that's my tag. I mean it. I'll get mad. Okay. Still on there. Still on there. Alright, look at that. Clean. Look, I can do it again. This is going to change our environment. This is something we really need. Let's stop polluting our environment for my kids, for your kids, and for our kids to come after that. You know what I mean? I want to leave on a legend, you know what I mean? I don't want to take a short end of this life. I want people, I want my, you know, my family tree to know who their great-great-great-grandpappy was, you know what I mean? Somebody who helped start us off and clean up this world. And in turn get us better gas mileage. Alright, Jay, why don't you crank it up a little bit? This should be warm. Nice. These heard a little backfire sputter, it's a thumper, they all do that. Let me get a little gas, Jay. Rev it up to like 7 grand.
Alright.
We've been building these units for about 4 years now. The actual first prototype was about 6 years ago. We made some changes there, but we finally got everything perfected and we're really happy with it. We've installed it on everything from 4 cylinders all the way up to 14 liters. From semis, to tractor trailers, to dump trucks, to boats, to lawn equipment. And as you can see, here's the first hydrogen unit on a motorcycle. I have one on my F-250 diesel. I have one on my 69 step-side four-wheel drive Chevy. My wife has one on her Dodge Ram Charger. And now I got one on my KTM. Right. Let me turn this off and talk a little bit more here. All right, Jay, gotta kill it. Turn off the system. Okay. Now you've seen her do our test, you know what I mean? We think we're actually got this down pat. Everybody else, they build, you know, between 1, 2, maybe 3 fuel cells. We build about 20 or 30 different fuel cells because we know that there's so many different liter size engines. How can you get it right? You know what I mean? You got to build it to the surface plate area to make your liters per minute. Everybody else are burning all these serious amps, you know, burning up relays and fuses and wires and everything like that. And that's not good. Our cells only draw between 2, 3 amps. On our big units, you know what I mean, for 14 liters and everything, we draw a top at 10. You know what I mean? On a bike, think about it. If I was drawing a lot of amps, I wouldn't even be able to start that thing. You know, I go down the road, you know, my battery would be dead before it even stopped anywhere. You know what I mean? So that's not a good thing. So people got to more work on, you know, getting their designs working right, you know what I mean, before they start even bother putting them out in market. I've been playing with this thing for about 4 years. Well, actually, really 6 years when we first started playing with it. I've been playing with this series that we've been building for about 4 years. And like what we do is, this is our rice rocket series, right? We build a small block series, right, and we build a big block series. In our small block series, you can get like a 305, a 307. I should do a 302 DZ motor too for our first one. But a 350, 383 stroker, 400 small block. We may even do like a 427, you know, small block stroker motor or something like that. So Jay, what do you think how we're doing about this?
I think we're doing pretty good. I think that we're helping you all not pay for no more foreign oil because that is really hurting all of us.
Oh, good subject right there. Let's talk about foreign oil, right? Here we are, right? Last year we spent $700 billion on foreign oil. Now gas prices are double this year, right? We'll spend $1 trillion 400 billion on foreign oil. If you break that down even further, that's about $358 million per county. If you break it down even further, it's $4,000 for every man, woman, and child in the United States for foreign oil. You know, and all this is taking away jobs from us, right? You know, when we build these, I got about 6 other people, right, that build these cells for me, right? All those guys were out of work, right? They're so happy to be at work so they don't lose their houses and their jobs and everything. And, you know, this is something that needs to come around, right? So if you'd like to know more about us, you can find us at
www.highperformancefuelcells.com, or
our phone number is area code 813-789-0137.
Thank you guys, and peace. You are the people.